Welcome back to a multidimensional approach to meeting 21st century retailing education and industry challenges for India and the United States. This tutorial will explore retail entrepreneurship in small, non-urban markets from a U.S. perspective. It was prepared for you by Dr. Linda Neem of Iowa State University and Mr. Swisbabu Roy of the National Institute of Fashion Technology in India. It is narrated by Danielle Sponder-Testa of Iowa State University. This tutorial will begin by exploring definitions and meanings of small business and entrepreneurship in the United States. It will then explore contributions of small, independent retailers to local community markets. Next, we will explore how to understand retailer and community interdependence from a community capital's perspective. Operational and competitive strategies for small business success and sustainability in both rural and urban areas will then be explored, and examples will be provided in the U.S. context. Finally, formal and informal sources of small business assistance and networks will be explored. These module topics will go in the order listed on this slide. Feel free to pause the presentation at any time to review notes or to take the module topics in one at a time. Let's take a moment to discuss small business and entrepreneurship in the United States. The entrepreneurship revolution is upon us. Entrepreneurship is a driver of growing economies, countries, and communities. 1 million new ventures a year are started in the United States, and 85% of new jobs in the U.S. are entrepreneurial. New products and service introduction rates are up, and women and minorities are leading the pack of new entrepreneurship in the United States. Additionally, people are expected to change jobs 7 to 11 times throughout their working lifetime, increasing the likelihood of entrepreneurship. The greatest growth in university entrepreneurship programs is outside of business colleges, showing the diversity of entrepreneurial interest of young professionals. Entrepreneurs identify new opportunities and innovations and convert them to economic value. Short-term financial returns may include return on investment in promotions, such as increased traffic, increased sales, and result from promotional strategies. They also provide creative responses to changes in the environment and are constantly pursuing new opportunities. Entrepreneurs have creative responses to the marketplace by providing new formats, new products, new services, or new experiences and modes of delivery. Alternatively, entrepreneurs may provide a new combination of existing products, services, or offerings in these new locations. Entrepreneurs typically start small businesses. In the U.S., small businesses are defined as those that have 500 or fewer employees. They are independently owned and are not dominant in their field of operation. A microenterprise in the U.S. is smaller than a small business. A microenterprise employs 10 or fewer employees and is often family-based. It has less formal management and is sometimes an informal retail operation. They are local or regional to their market, have lower profit, and only a few channels. Let's begin by considering the differences between rural, urban, non-metropolitan, and micropolitan in the United States. Rural is a geographic term used to refer to areas with 50,000 or fewer residents. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, often referred to as the USDA, defines rural as all geographic areas outside of metropolitan areas. In total, 70 to 80% of the total geographic area of the United States is considered rural. In contrast, urban or metropolitan refers to places with more than 50,000 residents. Non-metropolitan is a term that can be used to refer to the inverse of metropolitan, while micropolitan refers to large trading centers in a small geographic area or a less populated area. On this slide, we can see a graphic that shows the state of rural retailing in America. The different colors show the state of retailing by state. The dark green shows the 15 states that have more than 50% of the population as rural. The lighter green shows the 19 states that are more rural than the U.S. average and account for 28.8%. The beige states, which represents 13 states, have less rural than average at 10 to 28.8%. There are 3 states and Washington, D.C. with less than 10% rural. 20% of the U.S. population lives in rural areas. Over the last several decades, people in their 20s have been rapidly leaving rural areas, while other older people in the United States have been moving to rural America. Rural birth rates have been declining. Hispanic population has been the fastest growing racial and ethnic group within rural areas. Non-Hispanic white growth rates have been the lowest of any group. There has been modest growth in African American population within rural communities in the United States. Rural U.S. economies vary from urban U.S. economies. They are rooted in old economics and have diverse economic activity that primarily includes agriculture, natural resource industries, processing and manufacturing, government, and retail and service industries. The economic vitality of rural America is dependent on the distance to urban areas, natural amenities, and cultural opportunities. This is an image of a rural community in America. The specific image shows an art festival or a flea market occurring on a main street in a small town. These sorts of events typically happen on weekends during summer months. There have been changes in rural America. Rural America has experienced significant changes, particularly in the last half century. There has been a decline in reliance on farming and other natural resource-based industries. Further, there have been low-tech manufacturing decline due to global competition. There have been population shifts as well. There have been more older, more Hispanic, and fewer young residents living in rural America. An additional term that you may hear referred to within rural America conversation is the concept of brain drain. Many rural communities have lost their younger residents to urban migration. These younger, educated rural residents find employment, social opportunities, and other fulfillment in urban residents. This loss of young residents is associated with rural community decline and is referred to as brain drain. There are some additional U.S. rural community and business trends you should be aware of. One such trend is suburbanization. Suburbanization has presented competitive challenges and economic opportunities for rural communities. Suburbanization refers to the rapid movement of individuals to suburbs, which is communities surrounding urban areas of the United States. There's also been a rapid growth to seasonal residents, which is residents that spend part of the year in rural areas and another part of the year in other parts of the United States. The growth to seasonal residents brings both challenges and opportunities to rural places. Elder industries offer recreational and retirement opportunities to meet older Americans' needs. This is another opportunity and business trend, particularly in rural communities. Entrepreneurial growth has been a major business trend within rural communities. It represents a core rural development as individuals look to bring people back to rural America and provide opportunities and entertainment within their communities. There are many benefits of entrepreneurial growth within rural areas, including the contribution of small independent retailers to their local markets. Local retail stores enhance rural communities by providing convenient access to goods and services. They also often source products locally and employ local residents. This helps the local economy. Further, they of course pay local taxes, which further supports their local economy. Small independent retailers also contribute to the local community markets by reinvesting profits and efforts into the community. Local businesses often put a lot of effort into making the most of the community around them and supporting the community and the people within it. They offer places for events and social interactions, and they also build relationships with their community. These businesses are often a point of pride for the community and offer vitality. Main Street is often the face of the community within rural America. There are, however, also challenges for rural and small community retailers in America. They face challenges with the declining local markets and competition from chain stores and the internet. They also have challenges with high operating costs and lack of economies of scale. Remember, economies of scale are the cost savings when you produce goods or sell goods in mass quantities. They also face challenges with the availability of qualified workers. Further, oftentimes, rural employers or rural companies often have narrower profit margins. They face challenges with taxes and regulations and a lack of community support in certain instances through outshopping. Outshopping refers to when community members go outside the community to buy their goods. This can refer to going to the main urban center to do their shopping, to going to a larger suburb to do their shopping, or shopping online. This is an image of a rural retailer in Iowa within the United States. Understanding retailer and community interdependence from a community capitals perspective. Flora and Flora developed the Community Capitals Framework based on their research concerning entrepreneurial communities. They determined that successful and sustainable communities paid attention to 7 types of capital: natural, cultural, human, social, political, financial, and built capital. The CCF, standing for the Community Capitals Framework, approach focuses on the interaction among these 7 capitals and how they build upon one another. You can see here the 7 community capitals. The first capital here at the very top is financial capital. Financial capital can refer to income, wealth, security, credit cards, and investments. Financial capital is exactly as it sounds. It is the financial investments and capital aspects of a business. Built capital, which is to the right of financial capital, can refer to things that you build up along with your business. They are created elements. This can include water systems, sewers, utilities, healthcare systems, or other systems that your company may have. Political capital can refer to inclusion, voice, and power. Social capital is a key element in entrepreneurial organizations. This refers to leadership, groups, networks, trust, and reciprocity. Human capital refers to self-esteem, educational skills, health, and human elements that bring value to a firm and organization. Cultural capital can include language, rituals, traditions, local dress, and other local cultural elements that can add value to your business, product, or service. Natural capital is provided by the earth and our surroundings. It refers to air, soil, water, landscape, biodiversity, and multiple uses we have for our natural surroundings. The outcomes of these 7 different capitals result in a healthy ecosystem, vibrant regional economies, social equity, and empowerment. When Flora and Flora developed the Community Capitals Framework, their concept was that the loss of one type of capital could lead to the loss of an additional type. This is referred to as spiraling down, which you will see further on the next slide. However, intervention can induce the process of what the authors call spiraling up, which increases one form of capital and then prompts increases in others. Since retailers are embedded within the local community and also contribute to the community, they are inherently likely to each of the 7 capitals in a variety of ways. In the image on this slide, we have a visualization of Flora and Flora's spiraling of capital assets. In the first column, spiraling down, we can see how decline can lead to more decline. In the second column, spiraling up, we can see how one small positive can lead to many more positive events. Let's look first at spiraling down. Starting from the top, we can see the loss of jobs on a large scale. Consider if a factory plant were to close and many individuals were to lose their job. This may lead to the decline in population in that area. People may move outside of their current residence. That would result in the decline in per capita income, which would further result in the loss of generational transfer of wealth. Let's move to the other side of the spiral though, starting from the bottom so we can look at spiraling up. Here, we see how bridging social capital brings outside expertise together with internal wisdom. This leads to the involvement of youth supporting entrepreneurship and could capture 10% wealth transfer. This can further lead to cultural capital increases and further result in philanthropy providing ongoing funding to support and more leadership. It could increase more businesses and new recruitment of youth. In general, we can see both spiraling down and spiraling up can have an impact. How can local retailers impact and be impacted by spiraling up and spiraling down? Let's think a little bit about the application of social capital in rural communities. As I discuss this slide, I would like you to think about the application of social capital in your community and how this may apply to your business. Social capital is built through interactions, relationships, and networks. These networks and interactions are unique in rural communities. Social capital is developed through interactions among community members and is a key influence on the business environment. Economic prosperity is often associated with social capital in rural communities, and signs of social capital will include civic partnerships, community embeddedness, and expectations of reciprocity. How does that apply to your business or your environment? Do you have social capital? Is it something you can maximize or improve? Think through its benefits to your business. On this slide, you can review the social and cultural profiles of rural communities in contrast with that of urban communities. In rural communities, community interaction is often mandatory and a part of day-to-day life. It leads to the social capital we were just discussing. The orientation of the community is towards the group, rather than towards the individual or one's own self. The roles within the community are typically ascribed or assigned, while leadership is traditional and sanctions are very particular to given situations. This is different than in urban communities, where interactions are voluntary, individuals are independent, roles are achieved, sanctions are universal, and leadership is rational rather than traditional. Let's move on to the third part of this tutorial: operational and competitive strategies for small business sustainability in non-urban areas. Now, more than ever, it is critical for small businesses and rural retailers to develop and sustain sources of distinct competitive advantage. What is competitive advantage? A competitive advantage is a distinct combination of offerings that customers want and only you can uniquely provide. A distinct competitive advantage differentiates your small business from its competitors and makes you more attractive than your competitors. It should be remembered that a competitive advantage is not easily copied. To best achieve a competitive advantage, most firms take a resource-based view. The resource-based view is attributed to Barney in 1991. Barney explained that each unique element of a firm is a resource that can lead to superior firm performance. A firm should identify and use resources based on the long-term competitive advantage they can provide. Firms should look within themselves and within their competitive environment to identify their unique sources of competitive advantage. In considering a firm's competitive advantage, here are some questions a retailer should ask oneself. Is a resource or capability valuable? If not, it would be a competitive disadvantage. Is the resource or capability rare? If not, it's a competitive parity. Is it costly to imitate? If not, it would be only a temporary competitive advantage. Further, is the firm organized to capture value? If not, it would only be offering a temporary competitive advantage. However, if the answer to each of these questions is yes, if the resource or capability is valuable, rare, costly to imitate, and the firm is organized to capture value, this creates a sustained competitive advantage to the firm and adds unique value for the business. Hopefully, you have now thought through the community capitalist framework and the different product offering your business offers. I hope you're starting to think like an entrepreneur. Here, we have a retail business offering hierarchy that can help you think about what your business offers. At the bottom of our hierarchy, we have products, services, leading to experiences. It leads up in a spectrum of high margin, cost scalable, and predictable products. As you go up in the spectrum, you become more profitable and the potential innovation increases. What does your business offer? How will you strategically position your business? Will you use cost, focus, niche marketing, or differentiation strategies for your business? How will you be bigger, better, or different from the competition? What is your entrepreneurial standpoint? Why will your offering create value for the company and for its customers? These sorts of questions are the sorts of questions any entrepreneur needs to consider. How will your offering or strategy create competitive advantage? What are your resources? How is your offering or strategy rare, valuable, and not easily copied? Consider your resources, your competitive advantage, and your entrepreneurial advantage when you're thinking about how your business will grow and be sustained in the future. Small businesses have inherent competitive advantages. Some of their competitive advantages are their size, their flexibility, their resource leverages, their innovativeness, their quick response and implementation, their personalization, and their customization. Let's consider two competitive strategies across marketing. Traditional marketing is the process of communicating the value of a product or service to customers for the purpose of selling that product or service. Traditional marketing encompasses channels such as television, billboards, and other means that are normally associated with advertisements. Guerrilla marketing is a more unique form of marketing as we see it today. This marketing strategy is used in a localized fashion. It draws attention to an idea, product, or service in an unconventional way. It is often unexpected and experiential. Let's consider two competitive strategies across marketing. Traditional marketing is the process of communicating the value of a product or service to customers for the purpose of selling that product or service. Traditional marketing encompasses channels such as television, billboards, and other means that are normally associated with advertisements. Guerrilla marketing is a more unique form of marketing as we see it today. This marketing strategy is used in a localized fashion. It draws attention to an idea, product, or service in an unconventional way. It is often unexpected and experiential. Guerrilla marketing can occur in various different ways. Sometimes guerrilla marketing will take advantage of existing resources. On the links provided on this page, you will see several different types of guerrilla marketing. The first link on this page shows several examples of guerrilla marketing tactics for small businesses. An example of the Calgary's Farmers Market in Canada. This example, if you click on the link, will show an example of their Fresh All Winter campaign. In order to show that the Calgary Farmers Market has fresh produce all winter long, they hung apples from trees in the middle of winter that were bright red and drew attention in the white, snowy scenery. The last example from the Academy of Positive Change shows an example where a retailer or a restaurant may take advantage of their existing interior design and architecture. In this specific example, they use neon lights to allow customers to take selfies and interact with the store display. This was both an interactive experience and a marketing campaign. Some additional examples of guerrilla marketing show how individuals creatively used underutilized space to draw attention to their brand or product offering at a low cost. In the link, you can see how a sewer grate was turned into an advertisement for a barbecue. Also in the link, we can see how a shed was turned into an advertisement for martial arts. Another opportunity for businesses is to utilize social media for their marketing strategy. Several best practices exist when using social media for marketing. Small businesses can ask known users for help and should experiment with online help tools in social media strategies. It's good to adopt a learn-as-you-go approach, as social media content will continue to improve over time. Businesses should seek social media information from sources both inside and outside of their local community to best use this source, and they should examine the social media content of other businesses, competitors, and industries for ideas. Businesses should actively participate in social media user groups and share knowledge about social media in personal and professional networks. Finally, businesses should strategically cross-promote their business with other businesses that complement their product or service offering. Social media marketing should also be integrated with existing marketing efforts and portray a consistent brand image. It should be used as both a vehicle for marketing and a source of market information. Businesses should leverage the immediacy of social media to create interest and drive traffic to their business. This is an opportunity not provided by other marketing strategies. While it's good to lean on analytics and insights to remain true to a brand identity, small businesses should not outsource their social media maintenance. However, businesses can consider using a management tool to streamline their social media efforts and can further utilize analytics to determine which tactics are most effective through their social media account. Social media should engage consumers and enhance their experience through frequent interactions. Businesses should invite customers to engage through social media and recruit their friends and followers to expand the social media presence. A business should find synergies in social media to effectively manage the account as a portrayal of the small business. In rural America, several strategies exist for innovative retailing. Pop-up shops refer to temporary shops that are in the community only for a limited time frame. This may be in temporary locations or permanent locations that are temporarily empty. For example, if a mall has an empty store, a pop-up shop may take on a short-term lease in that location. Pop-up shops allow businesses to experiment and gauge demand in the town before opening a more permanent location. This minimizes the expenses and risks of the store, allowing a test period before a permanent location is opened. Pop-up shops are good for restaurants, retail stores, and artists. Pop-up shops sometimes come in the form of trucks or trailers, but not all trucks or trailers are pop-up shops. For instance, Millie's Garden, pictured here, uses a trailer as the permanent format for their food sales. Trucks and trailers are popular formats in urban areas where rent is high and spaces are hard to come by. Today, all kinds of businesses are going mobile, for retail, services, and businesses. Trucks and trailers are a good fit for anything from specialty food and retail to service offerings. Businesses within a business are also growing in popularity and are an opportunity for small business. In a small town, there may not be enough demand for a single business to fill up an entire building, so having a shop within a shop or a business within a business might be a better fit. This allows several rural businesses to share a space under one roof, even if they have slightly different business types. Teeny business villages are another strategy for small businesses in small towns. In teeny business villages, groups of teeny houses or dressed-up sheds are popping up on empty lots and unused green spaces. The smaller spaces encourage low-risk experimental shopping. All the businesses being located together draws in a critical mass of visitors to the village. The key factor here is to bring many of them together. One teeny business on its own is lonely, but groups of teeny businesses are a draw. This teeny business are a good fit for super specialty retail. Rural sourcing is an opportunity for small businesses that allow individuals in small towns to provide their services to a wide array of shoppers through the online marketplace. This can be done in creative industries through websites like Etsy. Rural sourcing is a good fit for service providers and creative professionals. Similarly, omni-local retailers have a small business in their local community but look to reach more consumers through other channels such as online and social media. They are able to do so thanks to low-cost, cloud-based tools. With 70 to 80% of the U.S. being rural, the importance of the rural retail evolution is clear. Small businesses today are taking advantage of social media, online stores, and guerrilla marketing campaigns in the same way big businesses are. In some ways, the fluidity of small businesses and ability to make decisions quickly allows them to use these resources more quickly than larger businesses. Consumers today are also paying attention to the opportunities to shop local. How can you take advantage of these opportunities within your business? We would like to leave you with a video on small community retailing so you can continue to think about how rural retailing and small business plays a role in your business and what opportunities you can best take advantage of in the future. Thank you for watching this presentation on retail entrepreneurship for rural businesses in India and the United States.